NCERT only. Achha, one more thing I just wanted to tell that I can see you people are so indisciplined. Most of you are coming late to my classes. Because of that, I have to wait. So from now onwards, from the next time, like, I have just decided that I would be giving 10 minutes to your doubts. So if the class is at 2 p.m., so I will wait till 2:10. 2:10 and I would say 2:15. For you, it's allowed because आपका वहाँ पे classes का है ना, so it's not for you. आपका तो नहीं, वो तो सीधा बेचारा क्लास से आता है. हाँ, तो आप लोगों की ही वजह से मैंने 10 minutes कर दिया ना. हाँ, so 10 minutes are more than enough. So इस 10 minutes में I would be just asking the doubts and then you people can join. So 12:15 तक I really want all of you to join. But after 2:15 के बाद अगर आप नहीं आ रहे हो तो please मत ही आओ फिर. Okay? लेकिन हाँ, रास्ते में कभी कुछ इमरजेंसी होगी, भागते हुए नहीं आना है, बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक रहता है, कभी एक्सीडेंट हो जाए. हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारे एम्प्लॉइज का एक्सीडेंट हो चुका है क्रॉसिंग दैट. आराम से आ जाओ, मैं अलाउ कर दूंगी जिसकी क्लासेस है. ओके, इन केस यू पीपल आर गेटिंग एब्सेंट तो बस मुझे मेरे असिस्टेंट को आप लोग बता दो. ओके, नाउ आई जस्ट वांटेड टू टेल फ्यू मोर थिंग्स दैट एनसीईआरटी में ये वाला जो पार्ट आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, इट इज वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू हैव प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके, इंटेलेक्चुअल्स इनटू द मेकिंग ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी. फाइन. Now, as one of you have asked me one question with respect to note making. ठीक है? What I wanted to tell, I'm not telling you from sociology. Do you know that when I decided that okay, let me just make my career in coaching industry, I decided that first of all I'll make my fundamentals clear with NCERT. For a year, I did again my research plus teaching in NCERTs. So I did and I taught history, GS पूरा, political science पूरा, GS का मैंने पढ़ाया. और वो मैं कभी इसीलिए and then definitely ऐसे भी मुझे टच करना था in the philosophy, but NCERTs I am through with everything. Okay, so I have taught geography also in NCERT, economics also, मतलब bio also. So from 12 तक मैंने पूरा का पूरे बच्चों को पढ़ाया है. You can come and ask for my lectures from Plutus अगर वो दे आपको तो. And I used to make the videos. क्यों? Because if you are teaching mains, although I'm having all the credential, I'm gold medalist in sociology, मुझे अपना कैलिबर बताने के लिए जरूरत नहीं थी. मैंने उतनी मेहनत करी है, मैंने पूरी जिंदगी ही पढ़ाई करी है सोशियोलॉजी एंड सोशल कल्चरल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी में. बट स्टिल मुझे पता था कि आई एम गोइंग टू टीच टू सिविल सर्वेंट्स, फ्यूचर सिविल सर्वेंट्स. ओके, सो एक क्रिटिकल अप्रोच चाहिए होता है. नाउ व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू टीच एनसीईआरटीज, मैं भी लाइक एनसीईआरटी एंड जीएस का हिस्ट्री, दिस वाज फ्रॉम माय नोट्स. Yeah, this is I taught in long time back. I don't even remember. And this all I used to make. Okay, so this is your history, non-cooperation movement. Now how to approach history? I'm telling you कि आप नोट मेकिंग कैसे करोगे. तो सोशियोलॉजी क्योंकि आपका बेस नहीं है अभी सोशियोलॉजी में तो नहीं पता, बट हिस्ट्री में सभी का बेस होता है. ठीक है, तो नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट पहले तो आप डेफिनेटली फैक्ट्स पढ़ो. So non-cooperation movement was launched by Gandhi ji, 1920. Precursor, dissatisfaction of the Montagu chums formed royal attack, this, that, Caliphate agitations. Okay, read this. Then you should be knowing about Montagu chums formed reforms. 99 Government of India Act was enacted based on 1918 hierarchy system and divided topics into lists. Indian nationalists, however, had gone for beyond stopping concessions. Indian National Congress met under Hassan Imam's presidency. Okay. Now UPSC is nowadays not asking questions on fact based, like Imam ये states में आ रहे हैं अभी ऐसे एग्जाम. Okay, मैं क्वेश्चंस. Okay, so effective of self government आया, फिर Rowlatt Act आया. So act officially known as anarchical and revolutionary crimes. 1919 was passed in 1999. Whatsoever, these are the pointers. Even when I would be making it, okay, I would be making only the flow chart because it is already there in any book. You go in the market, ask for the history book, line लग जाएगी. तो ये तो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन है ही, मैं क्यों उस पर अपना टाइम वेस्ट करूंगी. When you have to make the notes, you need to have captive insights, analytical insights. You people are giving exams for civil services ना, भाई आपके जो भी एज हो, 23 हो, 24 हो, कौन है यहाँ पे 21, 22? क्या एज है? 21, आप तीनों 21, 21, 22. अब आप 22 हो, जैसे 23 में अगर आपको आईएएस बना दिया जाता है, तो मेरे लिए आप आईएएस हो, मेरे लिए आप, अगर मेरी बेटी कल को आती है इस एग्जाम में, तो मेरे लिए शी इज माई बेबी. 23 की तो है बस बच्ची मेरी, 23 साल की तो है, अभी तो इसकी उम्र ही क्या हुई है. बट फॉर अ नेशन यू आर गोइंग टू बी एन आईएएस ऑफिसर. You need to take the nation's responsibility. So your mindset should be at that level only. So if you are acting like kid only, then forget about this exam. You need to know that okay, these all are the pointers which are easily available. Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So massacre took place on 13th April 1919. They are not now asking on these questions. Okay. Then what Dyer did, this and that. Yes, okay, you people have asked this, made the questions, you join coaching, coaching will provide you this content. Now it's totally on you, keep revising it, like I would say, uncritical mind. Exam was about telling the facts, then I don't think so कि ये exam कोई crack ही नहीं कर पाता, आप सब crack कर लेते. The problem is when you are understanding history, okay, just to cram it out, it will be wrong. It will be so wrong. It will be really wrong. So when I taught history, people got crazy. I still remember. They were saying that Huma ma'am is not finishing history. It's been 6 months, 7 months. And one of them is now an officer, I'm telling you. So he rejected me. Arey, ma'am is teaching too deep, teaching too deep. Why? I'm talking about 2021. Okay? He was saying, Arey, ma'am is teaching too deep. I do not know what is she doing and this and that. And then I was like, okay. But I was doing my research. I never thought that I would be taking this job. I just went. But then he came back to Plutus just to say me thanks. He came after, in I think 24 में उसका selection हुआ, right? And I do not want to say the name because मेरे लिए भी बड़ा हैरानगी की बात थी, because he was totally against कि मुझे ये नहीं पढ़ना, मुझे वो नहीं पढ़ना. Then he told me, because I never taught history that is about facts. No, history is not about facts. I have been trained by thinkers or professors in JNU like Romila Thapar, who teaches history with analytical framework. Okay, so how will what I want all of you to understand this? That yes, you need to see facts. Note making मैंने भी करी थी बच्चों के लिए. This is all my notes. मेरे पास एंशियंट मिडाइवल एनसीईआरटी के अलग नोट, सबसे ज्यादा जो मेहनत मैंने करी है वो हिस्ट्री में करी है. Okay, why? That is the base. आप प्रेजेंट समझ ही नहीं सकते ना विदाउट गेटिंग बैक इनटू द पास्ट. Okay, now let me talk business to all of you. I have studied this. Okay, you have made this point. कितना टाइम लगना चाहिए ऋषभ अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस? आपने नोट्स बना लिया, मैंने हाईलाइट भी करके दिए थे बच्चों को, ये सब मेरा 2021 में मैंने पढ़ाया है. नो नो, नोट मेकिंग तनिष्क. नो, फॉर नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट. पूरा हिस्ट्री तुम 4 दिन में कंप्लीट कर लोगे? मंथ्स बहुत है. 3 मंथ्स, 3.3 मंथ्स, 3 मंथ्स, क्योंकि मिडाइवल में आप स्किप करोगे. मिडाइवल में आपको बहुत ज्यादा नहीं करना है. एंशिएंट एंड मॉडर्न. हाँ, नॉन, यस, 2 days में भी आवर्स बताओ तो इट्स लाइक आई वुड से 10 to 12 आवर्स. 10 आवर्स में आपका 2 दिन में ये नोट्स बन जाएगा. 12 आवर्स में, चलो आप मैक्सिमम ले लो 12 आवर्स. ओके, तो बना लिया नोट्स, डन. इफ यू हैव गॉट अ टीचर और किसी ने ऐसे आपको नोट्स वगैरह बना के दिए, फिर वो भी नहीं बनाओ. नाउ व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, this is what you have to do. Understand this, Shalu. Your name is Shalu, right? What am I doing here? I have just framed, just a moment, I have just framed one particular idea today, and that's what I am sharing since you have asked me this question. I would use my mind. Okay, what I will do, I have just made a question on my own on UPSC pattern. Let me see how many of you answer. Consider the following statements. Just a moment. And you know this, do you understand that लोगों के पास basic understanding नहीं होती है? That I will reflect again. यहाँ पे हम इस पे बात करते हैं. Subhash Chandra Bose supported the non-cooperation movement but criticized its sudden suspension. ऐसा हुआ था? Bose believed that mass struggle should continue even if incidents of violence occurred, as violence was inevitable in a colonial context. Now, which of the statements given above is or are correct? So when I was making notes, was I mentioned Subhash Chandra Bose? मेरे किसी भी नोट में आपको दिखा था सुभाष चंद्र बोस? कहीं भी दिखाओ तो आप मुझे बता दो. कहीं भी, फिर मैं आप लोगों को चॉकलेट्स खिलाऊंगी, आप लोग मुझे चॉकलेट्स खिलाते हो. कहीं भी दिखाओ, नहीं होगा. लेकिन जब मैंने अपना खुद का नोट बना रही हूं and I want to get engaged, I have added this point. Okay, so this is a difference. Now I would say both 1 and 2. Explanation: both participated actively in non-cooperation movement and later openly called the when withdrawal of the movement happened historic mistake, marking his ideological distance from Gandhi. Bose consistently argued that violence cannot be ruled out. किसने पढ़ा है ये? किसको पता था ये? थोड़ा बहुत आपको पता था? You, Prince, you, all of you, good, right? So Bose consistently argued that violence cannot be ruled out in anti-colonial resistance and must not halt national struggle. So this principle shaped his later armed struggle strategy. So thus both statements are correct. Okay, another insights. Which one of the following best captures a historically accurate and subtle link between World War I and the non-cooperation movement 1922-22? 22, ठीक है? World War I brought mass recruitment economic strain, unkept reform promises, and post-war repression culminating in public anger that fed directly into mass non-cooperation by 1920. The non-cooperation movement, आप में से बताओ आंसर क्या कौन सा है? The non-cooperation movement emerged only from Gandhi's personal ideology with no influence from wartime conditions. World War I made India economically prosperous, reducing popular grievances and making non-cooperation unnecessary. One isolated Indian political demand from global developments, delaying organized mass mobilization until after 1930. क्या option है? A. How many of you are with A? Correct. ठीक है. अब मैंने क्या किया? क्या आपने देखा था वर्ल्ड वॉर वन मेरे नोट्स में मैंने कोई इतना रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं किया हुआ है. स्टार्ट लर्निंग आउटसाइड द बॉक्स. whom what we are preparing? Civil services. तो आप लोग वो गेम्स खेलते हो ना, मैं तो कॉन्ट्रा खेलती थी बचपन में. कॉन्ट्रा हमारे यहाँ वो वीडियो गेम था बचपन में. आप लोग खेलते हो ना वो पबजी, राइट? पबजी में हम क्या करते हैं? So there are 2 players or many players whatsoever. तो यूपीएससी को आप अपना प्लेयर समझो. एक आप प्लेयर हो, एक यूपीएससी प्लेयर है. तो अगर आपको समझ में आ गया यूपीएससी किस तरीके से क्वेश्चंस बना रहा है, तो आपने उनका माइंड समझ लिया ना. So civil servants, what they are doing, they are the think tank of our country. They are not going to ask you such easy questions with easy options. So start thinking like civil servants only. Okay. So when you will start making notes in a captative manner, in critical manner, that is the whole point. Your notes are reflection of your thoughts. तो आप जब आप बुक्स को पैसिवली रीड करोगे तो आप सब कुछ ही कॉपी कर लोगे, लेकिन अगर आप इंगेज करोगे तो मुझको भी कुछ न्यू इन्फॉर्मेशन देखने को मिलेगी आपकी बुक, आपके नोट्स में. ये इतना सिंपल है नोट मेकिंग. ओके. और डिटेल में तो मैंने नोट मेकिंग करना सिखाया ही है इनिशियल क्लासेस में. कॉर्नर नोट मेकिंग मेथड्स वगैरह वो आप देख लो. ओके. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद आवर सब्जेक्ट. The intellectual ideas that went into the making of sociology. Influenced by scientific theories of natural evolution and findings about pre-modern societies made by early travelers, colonial administrators, यहाँ पे जो हमारा point आ रहा है, it is only telling how intellectuals have played an important role, and it is talking about the paradigm of evolution. Okay, it is talking about the paradigm of evolution, this particular point. Intellectual ideas that make into the sociology. So first of all, you people have to talk about that intellectuals who contributed in the making of sociology, they all came into the phases. So during Renaissance phase, we did have philosophers such as they came in Enlightenment point, 16th, 17th century. So earlier century. No, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato. Okay. So Renaissance intellectuals were talking on humanistic ideas. ठीक है? Keep on writing this part. मैंने आप लोगों को बोला ही है. तो पहला ये जो first paragraph है, I am teaching you something which is not even written in NCERT. So यहाँ पे पहले बता, इन्होंने directly start कर दिया influenced by scientific theories of natural evolution findings about. लेकिन इससे पहले भी we will going to see. Okay. So I would say intellectuals जो हमारे पास आए हैं और जिसकी वजह से हमारी sociology definitely we have got, पहला point कि वो phases में आए हैं. Okay. So the first point that they came into phases. तो पहला आपके पास you should be knowing Renaissance intellectuals. Renaissance intellectuals में you have lot many thinkers, okay? Socrates, Plato, this and that, early philosophers. So you would say that these philosophers are, I would be now when I would be teaching you in depth, जब एडवांस में करेंगे तो मैं आपको सारे थिंकर्स का पॉइंट बताऊंगी फिलोसोफर्स का, ठीक है? सो रिनाइंस इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, यू विल टेल योर नेम, दे आर मेनी, और उनके बेसिक आइडिया क्या था? सो इट वाज लाइक ह्यूमनिज्म, ओके, इंडिविजुअलिज्म, dignity, human dignity, etc. So Renaissance intellectuals were talking about rebirth of scientific developments, intellectuals development, science, literature and all. So they all were saying that we need to see actually about the discoveries. So Renaissance intellectuals, right? Then followed by Renaissance, we have got Enlightenment. Okay, now Enlightenment, it was more aggressive in nature, radical in nature. Renaissance time mein church was in power and philosophers could not do much. That is why they took a help of art, literature. Shakespeare, we think that Shakespeare is, is writing in English only. Like for English language, no, he was a critical. If you read his work or his literature, one of the work which I like, Much Ado About Nothing, Shakespeare ने लिखा है. So he's just explaining Much Ado About Nothing, that you just talk and talk without any implementation and this and that. So because these people were so afraid of writing directly against government, so they were started portraying their ideas with the help of an art. But by the time we came into 17th century, we have got thinkers like Immanuel Kant, we have got political thinkers, Machiavelli, who is talking about state and control. Yeah, we are having Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu. Now they are saying that there should be a separation of power. Now, Renaissance intellectual played a significant role. Then you have political thinkers, and because of these ideas, what happened? The first revolution, important revolution, French Revolution. And here we have got what? Democratic ideals. Okay? We have got democratic ideals here now. So intellectuals in different phases have helped enormously in the development of sociology. Now, so the first paragraph which is talking about, it is talking about the paradigm which I have explained last time. Thomas Kuhn. So you people can see that why the way I am teaching NCERT is not that basic, because this I am not that stupid. I would say that I will waste your time just to teach you only the basics which is not going to come in your syllabus. Definitely I have to make your base strong. No, I have to tell what is UPSC. I have to motivate all of you. I have to tell you that where you people are going wrong. At the same time, I know that you people are preparing for competitive exam. For that competitive exam, I cannot just take your 1 month like that. That's why I am so confident that those who gives their 100% to my basics classes, they are the one who is going to, in fact, clear the exams. Because in my basics, it's not that basic. That's it. So here I am talking about Thomas Kuhn in his work, The Scientific Structure of Revolution. The Scientific Structure of Revolution. The book name is The Scientific Structure of Revolution. Now the first paragraph which is talking about, it is talking about paradigm shift, and that is evolution. Now who will tell me in sociology evolution is, मैंने basics में बताया था, the structure of scientific revolution. Evolution is simplicity to good. Excellent. So now even intellectuals in 19th century, I would say sociologists actually, which paradigm they have used? Evolution paradigm. Okay, so Auguste Comte has used same point. मैंने पहले भी पढ़ाया है, I would be teaching in again advanced classes में. Auguste Comte said that society is moving from simplicity to complexity. Okay, so पहला stage कौन सा है? Keep writing your notes. Theological stage, metaphysical stage, and positivism. ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी कीजिए गाइस, आज ही चैप्टर आई वुड वांट टू फिनिश. Okay, Herbert Spencer, that is his theory. He is talking about population density in explaining the survival of the fittest theory or social Darwinism. That I will explain later on. Okay, so this is social Darwinism. Then Karl Marx, economy is growing from simplicity to complexity. That is historical materialism. Okay, so this evolution is now clear. जल्दी बनाइए नोट्स गाइस, जल्दी से, बहुत ज्यादा कुछ है नहीं इसमें. And I would not be giving any break because class को ये भी 2 hours की भी नहीं चल रही है, आप लोग लेट आते हो. Yes, written. क्या? What? Historical materialism के बाद तो कुछ लिखा ही नहीं. Historical materialism. Okay, now the next paragraph is just explaining that how these people are telling. So their main effort was, what happened to you Aditya आज? गर्लफ्रेंड से लड़ाई हो गई? बहुत अपसेट लग रहे हो, क्या हो गया? हो जाएगा एग्जाम क्लियर, फोकस होना है बस, वो भी वापस आ जाएगी, और वो नहीं आ रही है तो बहुत सारी हैं लाइफ में, राइट? ये क्रेज रखो ही मत, हाँ, क्रेज रखो ही मत। वैसे भी आप जेनजीज को प्यार तो होता नहीं है, ये गई तो दूसरी आएगी, दूसरी गई तो दूसरा आएगा, ऐसे नहीं है। ऋषभ को सच्चा प्यार है किसी से, ओहो, ठीक है, वाह वाह, वेरी नाइस। आपको लाइफ में क्या दिक्कत है अभी, क्यों इतना अपसेट हो रहे हो? खाना नहीं खाया है? आज यू आर नॉट, बिल्कुल भी बहुत अपसेट हो आज आप अंदर से, कुछ तो हुआ है ऐसे, थोड़ा बहुत, वो बस थोड़ा बहुत ही है, जस्ट कीप टेलिंग योर माइंड, ना थोड़ा बहुत ही है। चलो लेट्स गेट इनटू इट। सी हियर they all have actually differentiated between rural society and modern society. This is the fundamental point which you would be writing in your notes. अपनी बुक में जहां पे भी आप मार्क कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे ये मार्क करो कि इन्होंने 18th century 19th century एक्चुअली मॉडर्न सोसाइटी को पोस्ट या आप यू कैन से साइमल्टेनियसली विद इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन उन्होंने डिफरेंस किस चीज पे करा? ट्रेडिशनल सोसाइटी, सो रूरल एंड अर्बन। कनिष्क, स्टॉप यूजिंग योर फोन। नहीं, फोन पे आपको नोट मेकिंग, मुझे क्या पता चला व्हाट्सएप कर रहे हो या नोट मेकिंग कर रहे हो? लिख लो, देखो इसमें नोट्स में लिखो, यहाँ पे बुक लेके आओ आप लोग, बस इस पे बना दो यहाँ पे सिर्फ सिंपल ए पॉइंट। ओके, तो प्री मॉडर्न सोसाइटीज और मॉडर्न सोसाइटीज, यही आपको मेजर डिबेट देखने को मिलेगा। ओके, so Karl Marx is also explaining the same, but we would say we will going to understand precisely about Durkheim's work because उन्होंने explain करना है by getting influenced by Ferdinand Tönnies। ये नाम लिख लो आप लोग, Durkheim से पहले Ferdinand Tönnies, German philosopher, and he has explained about the concept called Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft that I will again explain later on, but अभी के लिए बता देती हूँ। It's basically rural society and urban society. Okay, so Immanuel Durkheim is also explaining the same. Okay, Immanuel Durkheim is saying whether, so there is a distinction. What you have to understand, majorly all the intellectuals have made a differentiation. What was the society before industrialization and after industrialization? That's it. Okay, so such an evolutionary vision assumed that the West was necessarily the most advanced and civilized. Now, this point, when you are referring to this, add your critical dimension. This view is Orientalist. And thinking Eastern particularly as barbaric and less advanced. So Eastern countries are Occidentalist, who has given a counter narrative of Orientalist approach. So when you people are reading for your GS2, okay, you should be knowing clear, you should be very clear what is Occidentalism, what is Orientalism. Then only you will understand international relations better. Okay, so if you are not through with this concept, what do you think that will it be easy for all of us to reflect? No, you need to know. You again, then you have to understand Treaty of Tordesillas, and Treaty of Tordesillas is a landmark event for me. Okay, so this you are going to always see this. So West and East. So when Occidentalist countries started telling that no, we are already advanced. Now you think on your own, in contemporary scenario, which particular country you find that they are the most advanced technologically? Japan. So even Japan can say that if you are saying that you are technologically advanced, so who are we? Do you know what had happened? Why Japan पे attack, Hiroshima, Nagasaki and all that? पता होगा ना आप लोगों को? What it is? Please tell me. ऐसा क्यों होता है अमेरिका के साथ? पहले उनके साथ अटैक होता है, फिर वो रिटेलिएट करते हैं हमेशा ही. I'm just asking you critical question. Yeah. What is Hiroshima Nagasaki event? How many of you know this? Please tell me facts. Wanted to make Japan stop because Japan was actually occupying a lot of territory in the US. So basically, they just dropped their nuclear bomb at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But this is the information we have been got from West only. You need to understand the pattern. मैंने कल आपको एक पैटर्न समझाया था ना इक्वेशन से 3:3, 3:4 समथिंग लास्ट क्लास में. तो यूएस हमेशा बेचारा ही क्यों है यार हमेशा से? उसके बाद पहले कोई अटैक करता है, फिर वो रिटेलिएट करते हैं, फिर वो एक पूरा न्यूक्लियर वेपन नहीं कर देता. वो कहता हम तो रिसर्च कर रहे थे, गलती से गिर गया. ऐसा क्यों होता है? इजराइल के साथ ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है? हमारी लैंड थी, अब अटैक हो रहा है. एवरी टाइम व्हेनसोएवर president is about to come in US, there is war in Middle East. And this is not my narrative. It is a narrative even by US citizens only. Now, what have I done? I have added critical sociological dimension on IR. So Japan can say we are technologically so advanced, and this is true. Manpower, China. अभी जब डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प ने टैरिफ का पॉइंट बताया तो चाइनीज लोगों ने एक मीम बनाया, लाइक एक वीडियो बनाई. उसमें दे हैव केप्ट ऑल ओबीज यूएस सिटीजंस एंड वर्किंग, क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा था हम अब चाइना से काम नहीं करवाएंगे. तो दे आर मॉकिंग यूएस के, आपके पास तो लोग ही नहीं है काम करने के लिए, हार्ड वर्किंग पीपल. So what is happening now? East is also creating narrative, strong narrative against West. Now spiritually, अगर आप देखा जाए तो जो West है वो East की चीजों पे ही पल रहे हैं. All the Silicon Valley Indian brains, where they are, आप देख लो उनके top CEOs. Again, what I'm just trying to tell, okay? I'm just trying to tell that how you people have to understand. Because such an evolutionary vision assumed that the West was necessarily the most advanced and civilized. Non-Western societies were often seen as barbaric and less. So there is a book on Europeans' modernity by Graham Lansky. You will see that people are talking about multiple Europe-centric views. And they are saying that the way European has created their own image is fundamentally wrong as well. And there are lot many books on modernity. So the idea of Europe, when did it come? When this came? When you are reading such point, right? When they are saying West as more civilized. So here we are talking about Euro only, actually. Now this is what a sociology should sound like. When we actually have got the idea of Europe. All the Europeans had to occupy all the world. Colonialism. But before this 18th, 19th century, Europe was itself fragmented. Even today it is fragmented. Isn't it? But Europe deliberately have created an identity which is still questionable. So entire Caucasian race has created a vision in which they are portraying us. We are, and it is not me who is saying this. There is one book, I'm forgetting the book name and the thinker name, who has said that India has to be the cradle of spirituality. India should teach the world how to live. We do have China doing really well. We do have Japan. We do have India. अभी पाकिस्तान तो हमारे ही है. So what to say? It has come. It is a history. It's not only I am saying. I will not talk like politician only. We know that Pakistan was a part of India only. It was definitely West move only. The day we will have proper understanding, जिस दिन West East को understanding हो जाए, according to me, and Pakistan, Sri Lanka and all this, they say we want to become a part of India. Technically, अगर आप देखो तो India is more, Pakistan और India में अगर हम facts के ऊपर बात करें तो we are more developed, right? We are more powerful. We have lot many other things. Okay? तो अगर पाकिस्तान आके कहता है कि ऐसा कोई है अभी हमारे हिस्ट्री में जिसने अपने आप को इंडिया से अटैच कर लिया हो? कभी बाउंड्रीज में ऐसा कभी कोई है जिसने इंडिया से अपने आप को अटैच कर लिया हो कि ठीक है वी वांट टू बी पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया? ओके, व्हाट इज अबाउट 2A सिक्किम? रीड अबाउट ऑल दैट. ओके, आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू टेल. ओके, सोचना है क्वेश्चन, जैसे भी मेरे दिमाग में क्वेश्चन आया है, ऐसा आपको क्वेश्चन समझना है कि कभी ऐसा हुआ है, क्या ऐसा कभी हो सकता है, होगा तो क्या होगा? Then what you are doing? You are getting sociology into it. Okay, and I want all of you to read 2A Sikkim ka part, if I am not wrong. Okay? Then again, what I'm just trying to tell here, that here we have got ethnocentric viewpoint, what NCERT is talking about. Europe has given an image where they started calling themselves as advanced, and we do have W.W. Rostow, जिन्होंने तो पूरी थ्योरी बता दी that how any nation can become developed. उन्होंने 5 stages बताई है. टॉपिक 10 में हम डिस्कस करेंगे एज अ वैल्यू एडिशन. इट इज लाइक जब आप हाई कंजप्शन एनर्जी की तरफ चले जाओगे तभी आप डेवलप्ड हो. बट हमारी संस्कृति तो ऐसे नहीं कह रही है. वी टॉक अबाउट सेल्वेशन. हम तो बोल रहे हैं कि क्या रखा है, सब मोह माया है. And Rostow is telling the reason of Eastern countries that they are not developed because of their spirituality, because of their values, norms, which I don't agree with them. हाँ जी प्रिंस, समझ में आ रहा है? कुछ ऐड कर सकते हो? अपने खुद से पॉइंट लेके आके ऐड करना सीखो गाइज. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग टू डम हेड्स. अगर डम हेड्स को ही पढ़ाना था तो मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में, आई एम नॉट सेइंग यूनिवर्सिटी में डम हेड्स है. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग दिस. तो यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स, इमेंस रिस्पेक्ट आई हैव. मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ ये बात. ओके, ये एग्जाम क्रैक करोगे, चांसेस कितने हैं? 11 लाख फॉर्म भरेंगे, 30 कोई बनेगा. तो इतना डिफिकल्ट एग्जाम क्रैक करने की हिम्मत तो बहुत ही करेजियस इंसान को ही होती है एक्चुअली, अगर जो सीरियसली पढ़ रहा है. लेकिन हाँ, कोई अगर मेंस तक आता है, ऑप्शंस की क्लासेस लेता है, तो मुझे लगता है सीरियस है. ओके, एनीवे, सो दिस पॉइंट अगेन, सी हाउ एंड व्हाट हैव आई डन. I have added 3 parts here where I am explaining this point to you, that most of the thinkers have used evolutionary perspective, and then this 2 paragraphs is actually explaining the concept of Europe, the concept of advanced and non-advanced societies. And then I have just told you that how you people have to be very much reflective. See, I talk and it is there. So the Indian colonial experience has to be seen in this light. So for us, modernity is very different. For European, modernity is all about, the way Rishabh has said, it's about colonialism, controlling the power. For us, we become a colony. So when Mughals were there with us, we were having 25% of GDP. We were the wealthiest, right? So when Europe, and then what happened? Actually, Indian national movement को अगर आप समझोगे, 1920 जो आज मैंने अभी डिस्कस करा आपसे, नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट, it was actually reality check to Mahatma Gandhi ji and moderate leaders, that they are no in chance कि आप उनको वर्ल्ड वॉर वन में सपोर्ट भी कर चुके हो, तो दे आर गोइंग टू मेक यू कॉलोनी, बिकॉज दे नेवर वांटेड टू मेक यू दैट रिस्पेक्ट द वे दे हैव गिवन रिस्पेक्ट टू देयर अदर कॉलोनीज. तो यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं आप देखोगे दैट दे हैव ऑलवेज थॉट ईस्टर्न एज सुपीरियर इंफीरियर रेस. अदरवाइज तो वो ब्लू आइज लोगों को अपने जैसा समझ रहे हैं, प्योर रेस. तो हम इनको तो करेंगे, लेकिन इनको हम ऐसे ही रॉ मटेरियल चाहिए इनसे, ये भी ऐसे ही हो रहा है. ओके, यहां तक समझ में आ गया. नाउ here they are explaining Darwin's ideas. How many of you know Charles Darwin, Origin of Species? Please raise your hand. Raise your hands. Survival, adaptive radiation. So he went and then he explained that, you would see, he had given certain principles, Charles Darwin. He said that all living organisms will reproduce, and they will reproduce, and when they will, it's a nature. Okay, then they are saying that again variation will be there. Then he's saying कि बहुत सारे लोग होंगे, then there will be a fight, competition for survival. So those who will survive, they are going to have multiplication of their genes, and then eventually that would come. So adaptive radiation. For this, your biology should be a little stronger. It is a part of your biology, GS3 का part. ठीक है? Charles Darwin का theory आपको पता होना चाहिए. So later we know that the way he had given the pangenesis theory, it was not correct. Definitely, अलग point है. Now we know modern synthetic theory. But ठीक है, Charles Darwin has given a convergent viewpoint. Okay? तो यहाँ से ही हमारा ये वाला पॉइंट आया, हमने ये डिस्कस कर लिया. ओके, सो Darwin ideas about organic evolution were a dominant influence on early sociological thought. It was not only in sociology, everywhere. So society was often compared with living organism. अब ये आप हाईलाइट करेंगे. Society has a system of parts, each part playing a given functional influence. ओके, ये वाला पॉइंट यहां तक आप लेंगे, पूरा पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट है. So Durkheim is explaining the same idea about society and also structural functionalist Talcott Parson. हाँ जी, हो गया. Now get into it. The Enlightenment and European intellectual movement of the late 17th and 18th century emphasized reason and individualism, जो मैंने आपको अभी just explain किया था starting में. ठीक है? So we have direct question on this. Enlightenment paved way for the emergence of sociology. PYQ books लेके आया करो मेरी, direct questions है. Okay? So Enlightenment have started reflecting that how to understand society. It should not come from any biasness. It should not come from religion or any dogmatic authority. We need to be rational when we are analyzing society. So in the age of reason, Immanuel Kant is arguing and is explaining that why society may, why in society we are seeing this much chaos. So in that essay he is saying, and he has reflected beautifully in that work, he is explaining that we do have some reasons behind it. What it is. So I am explaining you in a way, in my language, okay, in easy language. So Immanuel Kant, first of all, how many of you know Immanuel Kant? Raise your hands. Immanuel Kant is a very renowned philosopher. और यूपीएससी के बच्चों को पता होना चाहिए वैसे ही. ठीक है, घर जाके टाइम वेस्ट करते हो, फोन वोन करते हो, वो मत करो. 10 मिनट का इमैनुअल कांट के ऊपर मेरा ही वीडियो है ऑन इमैनुअल कांट बाय डॉक्टर हुमा हसन. ओके, सी. So Immanuel Kant is talking on categorical imperative on reasons. Now understand and focus what he is saying. So he is saying that why people are not intelligent enough. So he is saying, number one, they are lazy. Do you know why we are in such condition what we are? I read one quote and I do relate it a lot with this. That you may are born with certain circumstances, you may have born poor, but you should not remain poor. You should not die poor. हाँ, I do not know Bill Gates का, ये तो कुछ किसी का भी नाम लिख देते हैं. But I just want to say in a sociological manner that whatsoever your condition is, you should not remain in that condition. मतलब upliftment होना चाहिए, mobility, upward mobility होनी चाहिए. Actually, Bill Gates reported that it's not your problem if you are born poor, it's your problem if you die poor. If you die poor, yes, right. बट बिल गेट्स जी उस जमाने में स्कूल में पढ़ते थे जब वहां पे कंप्यूटर होता था, तो वो खुद ही एक बहुत ही फॉर्चुनेट जगह से आए थे. मेरे एक मन में बड़ा रिस्पेक्ट होता है. आई वुड नॉट टेल दैट IAS ऑफिसर एक्स चेयरपर्सन थे वो, नाम उनका नाम, बट मैंने उनसे रिसेंटली वो आए थे एंड ही गिव लॉट ऑफ लाइक मोटिवेशन क्लासेस और पढ़ाते भी हैं उनसे बच्चों को कहीं. मैंने उनसे नाम बस मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन यही था, what your parents were, what they used to do, and they were bureaucrat only. And then in all interview he was trying to explain that how it was difficult for him to collect the book and this and that. I have to accept it. So if my daughter is going to do something in her life academically, it's pretty obvious. Okay, so I personally have respect somebody like Kiran Bedi, or though I may have differ in ideologies of PM Modi, but yes, in difficult circumstances he has made it. In politics, with no political background, and in the romanticism of Congress, whatsoever it is. So I am not again saying कि those who have come from sound background और अच्छे background से वो कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो भी एक struggle कर रहे हैं, because if your plate is full, then why you would work? तो मुझे लगता है वो और ज्यादा courageous है कि आपके पास सब कुछ है, then still you are working to make your own identity. तो दोनों का अपना अपना struggle है अलग तरीके से, isn't it? So what Immanuel Kant is saying again, that people are lazy. They don't want to ask. कौन पूछे, जैसा चल रहा है चलने दो. दूसरा he said that why they are lazy, they are coward. क्योंकि अगर आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे तो नेक्स्ट स्टेप आएगा, अगर गलत है तो चेंज करो. Who to fight, why to fight, keep accepting. And this is a human nature also, isn't it? We accepted what is given to us. We don't question. We are lazy, because कौन सोचे, कौन रिफ्लेक्टिव करे. और देन यू आर कॉवर्ड. जब हम डरेंगे ना तो हमको डराने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, बस जिंदा रहोगे, डरते हुए जियोगे. किसको डराया जाता है? Who is confident enough, उसी को तो डराया जाता है. अभी अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंटली बोल दो कि इफ एनीथिंग इज हैपनिंग रॉन्ग एंड यू आर गोइंग टू टेक स्टैंड, आपको ज्यादा डराया जाएगा. नहीं, अगर आप थ्रेट नहीं हो किसी के लिए तो आपको डराया ही नहीं जाएगा. बट अशोका का यहाँ पे एक अशोका, ग्रेट एम्परर अशोका, यहाँ पे उनका एक अलग स्टैंड था. वो ही यूज्ड टू किल विद काइंडनेस. मैं आपका फादर लाइक फिगर हूँ, लेकिन अगर आपने स्टेट्स के साथ अगेंस्ट करा तो आप जेल जाओगे. यू नो दैट काइंड ऑफ सिनेरियो. वन ऑफ द हिस्टोरियन हैड टोल्ड मी दिस. और इमोशनली आपको बहुत ही एक्सप्लॉइट किया जाता है एक्चुअली आजकल. हम आपसे बहुत प्यार करते हैं, आप हमारे लिए काम कीजिए, देश नहीं चलेगा अगर आप नहीं है तो. कार्यकर्ता, ये मैंने कॉलेज में सीखा था. आई वेंट टू सम थिंग समवेयर, तो वो लेडी मुझे जानती भी नहीं, तो कहती ये हमारी बच्ची है ना. आप कुछ पेनीज के लिए आप काम करने चले जाते हो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हो, स्टूडेंट आईसा वाइसा इन सब में जो फाइट पीछे जाते हैं, तो कहते बस भीड़ चाहिए, तो भीड़ में आप खड़े हो जाओगे तो यू विल गेट 500 रुपीज लाइक दैट. तो आई ऑल्सो वेंट देयर. माई फ्रेंड टोल्ड मी कि चल चल, इसमें अभी इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं कॉलेज के, 500 रुपए मिलेंगे. हाँ, मैंने कहा चलो. I also went there. So when I was there, सो दैट गर्ल केम, जो फाइट कर रही होगी लीडर उसका पार्टी का, जैसे हमारी बच्ची है ना ये, हाँ इसका जरा ख्याल रखो। मैं सोची मैं तो आज ही आई हूँ सिर्फ आधे घंटे पहले, तभी मुझे समझ में आ गया था कि कितना झूठा है ये सब। नेक्स्ट डे आई जस्ट डिडंट वेंट। एनीवे आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू टेल दैट हम क्वेश्चन करेंगे तो हम समझेंगे। इमैनुअल कांट भी यही कह रहा है। फिर उसके बाद थर्ड पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं कि व्हाई वी आर लेजी, व्हाई वी डोंट आस्क क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज ऑफ ट्रेनिंग व्हिच आई एम टेलिंग। आपको ट्रेन ही ऐसा कर दिया जाएगा। सरप्राइजिंगली सोशल साइंसेज में और यूपीएससी में अगर किसी के पेरेंट्स ब्यूरोक्रेट है, प्रोफेसर है, वो तो अच्छा कर ही लेते हैं, बट ज्यादातर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के या कोई अगर गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में होते हैं, ब्यूरोक्रेट के बच्चे ज्यादातर एग्जाम क्रैक कर रहे होते हैं। डेटा है मेरे पास एक्चुअली। और दूसरे जो खुद से बड़े शरारती होते हैं, जिन्होंने क्लासेस बंक करी है, जो फेल हुए होंगे, जिन्होंने लड़ाई झगड़े बड़े करे हैं, वो भी ये एग्जाम बहुत क्रैक करते हैं। ओके क्योंकि वो दे एज पर इमैनुअल कांट दे आर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग। अगर आप सबमिसिव हो तो आप मम्मा पापा के भी प्यारे हो, टीचर्स के भी प्यारे हो, सबके प्यारे हो, लेकिन आप सबमिसिव नहीं हो तो इसका मतलब एंटी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट, इसका मतलब क्रिटिकल। पर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दाऊद इब्राहिम बन जाए, सोसाइटी में ही रहना है। ओके तो इमैनुअल कांट इन 17th century is asking for reasons, rationality, scientific tempo. जस्ट बिकॉज कुछ चीज हो रही है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो सच है, राइट? जस्ट बिकॉज मेजोरिटी कह रही है कि ऐसा है तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि ऐसा है। ऐसा होने के लिए ऐसा होना चाहिए, और वो कौन डिसाइड करेगा? उसके लिए आप ऐसे होने चाहिए कि आप वाइज हो। वाइजनेस नहीं है आजकल। ओके तो ये समझ में आ गया होगा अब तो आपको। एनलाइटनमेंट डीपर वे में पढ़ेंगे। आई हैव टोल्ड यू कि इसमें से क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं। So there was also great advancement of scientific knowledge and a growing conviction that the methods of the natural science could be exerted to the study of human affairs. ये कौन सी philosophy है? लास्ट वाली, positivism. Excellent, very good. Auguste Comte, people are responding. Okay. Now come back here. So foreseen as a natural phenomena begin to seen as a social problem caused by human ignorance or exploitation. Poverty therefore could be studied and redressed. One way of studying this way through the social survey that was based on the belief that human phenomena can be classified and measured. So तभी तो हमारे पास अब क्वेश्चन आए हैं absolute poverty, chronic poverty and so many types of poverties. Okay, so thinkers of the early modern era were convinced that the progress in knowledge promised the solution to all social ills. Okay, this is what even Durkheim have said, that the role of sociologist, लिखो यहाँ पे साइड में इधर इस वाली लाइन में social ills के आगे, that Emile Durkheim argues that sociologists are like social physicians who can identify social pathologies, in society. Full stop. Social pathology refers to social ills or problems. So we can say that, comma लगा लो, so we can say that sociology is primarily focusing on its issues, and analysis of social problems, to have solutions of it. Hence, full stop, hence sociologists are like social pathologists. Also, for looking for factors of social problems. ओके, ये आप साइड में इसको लिखेंगे. Is this now clear? Now, in this whole paragraph, the material issues that went into the making of sociology. Now, in the first place, we discussed actually enlightenment phase, huh? But before explaining enlightenment, I explain Renaissance also. Renaissance, French Revolution, okay, and these phases. Now, what I am talking about, Industrial Revolution. Okay, so Industrial Revolution was based upon a new dynamic forms of economic activity. So this is how we can see it's a modern world. The new economy was completely different from what it replaced. England was the center of Industrial Revolution. यहाँ पे बैटल ऑफ प्लासी हुआ था, यहाँ पे इंग्लैंड में पेस हाई हो गया था इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन का. This is what Bipin Chandra has quoted in his work. Do write on that line also, जो मैंने अभी quote करा है. It is referred by Bipin Chandra. Now you need to focus quickly on the changes brought by industrialization. This is your first topic, modernity and social changes in the Europe. Industrialization, agriculture, textiles were the chief occupation of the British people. We take a quick look at what life in pre-industrial England was like. Before industrialization, agriculture and textiles were the chief occupation of the British people. Most people lived in villages, like in our own Indian villages. They were the peasants and landlords, the blacksmith and the leather workers. You know, they all have the same occupation. Society was small, it was hierarchical. The status and class position of different people were clearly defined, like all traditional society it was. With industrialization, each of these features changed. One of the most fundamental aspects of the new order was the degradation of labor. ये लिखेंगे. The wrenching of work from the protective context of the guild, village, and family. This was even have explained by Karl Marx that the problem is not the capitalism but the protection. So in Jajmani system, the higher caste is also giving protection, though it may be exploitative in nature. So both the radical and conservative thinker was appalled at the decline of the status of the common labor, not to mention the skilled craftsmen. Urban centers expanded and grew, It was not that there were no cities earlier, but their character prior to the industrialization was different. तो city का जो point था वो change हो रहा है. That industrial cities gave birth to a completely new kind of urban world. It was marked by the soot and grime of factories, overcrowded slums. This was the first point. And recrowded slums was the major problem. Bad sanitation and general squalor. It was also marked by new kinds of social interaction. So industrialization has changed, have brought major changes in European society. And this you people can just read the Hindi song and this and that. From working class neighborhoods to slum localities. Significantly, the same process was different in India. Urban centers did grow, but with the entry of British manufactured goods, more people moved into agriculture. That is why when I would be teaching you modernity, just after completing modernity from the topic 1, I would be bringing paper 2, impact of colonial rule on Indian society. So the mass of Indian arts craftsmen ruined as a result of the influx of manufactured machines, made goods of British industries, Sauraj and this and that, people can quote out. Okay, the factory and its mechanical division of labor were often seen as deliberate attempt to destroy the peasant and community. The factory was perceived as an archetype of an economic regimentation of hitherto known only in barracks and prisons. For some like Marx, the factory was oppressive yet potentially liberating. Here workers learn both collective. अब इसमें से यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ लेगा, आप सोचते रह जाओगे कहां से आ रहा है. Functioning as well as concerted efforts for better condition. You people can frame question on this. Make a question. According to Marx, the factory was oppressive yet potentially liberating. Comment. You can use comment, analyze, critically examine, examine. Another indicator of the emergence of modern society was the new significance of clock time as the basis of social organization. A crucial aspect of this was the way in which in the 18th and the 19th century the tempo of agricultural and manufacturing labors increasingly came to set by the clock and calendar in a way very different from the pre-modern forms of work. Prior to the development of industrial capitalism, work rhythm were set by the factors such as the period of daylight and night. तो हम सुबह दोपहर होने से पहले पहले खेत पे काम करते थे कि ज्यादा धूप होगी तो अब नहीं करना, तो 12 o'clock तक हम अपने घर पे जाके खाना वाना खाते थे. एंड देन अगेन वी यूज्ड टू कम. अभी भी गांव में ऐसे ही होता है 4 o'clock. ओके, so factory production implied the synchronization of labor. It began punctually. आज आपको कहते हैं ना, आपका मैडम शिफ्ट टाइमिंग क्या है, 8 to 5 PM. नहीं बोलते हैं आपसे, मैडम आज आपका 9 to 6 shift time. Just to understand the capitalist system, I'm also being part of it. Okay? तो कार्ल मार्क्स ये तो कह रहे हैं, समझो, तो कार्ल मार्क्स इज आर्गुइंग दिस कि आपकी जो क्रिएटिविटी है वो ले ली गई है जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ सम पेनीज वेजेस. और ड्रग क्या है इसमें, क्यों आप करते रहते हैं, सैलरी. एक चीज तो अच्छी हुई है डिजिटल मीम्स, इन सब से आप लोग बड़े साउंडेड हो गए हो. किसी ने भी वीडियो बना ली, ये जो सैलरी है ना यही तो ड्रग्स है. आता है ना ये सारे मीम. माय डॉटर टेल्स मी दिस, तो व्हेन माय 13 years old इज टेलिंग मी, तो मैं तो सोचूंगी ना कि इसने बुक्स तो पढ़ी ही नहीं है. अभी मैं इसको एक क्वेश्चन दे दूं मैथमेटिक्स का, सर्ट्स का, अभी सर्ट्स नहीं आया है बट इसको कुछ नहीं पता, बट मुझको आगे ज्ञान दे रही है. कैसे? बिकॉज व्हेन शी इज स्क्रोलिंग तो बहुत सारा कंटेंट आता है, उसमें कोई बता रहा होगा कि अपना काम करो, मार्क्स के ऊपर बन जाओ, सैलरी छोड़ो. तो सैलरी इज अ ड्रग। अरे मम्मा को बताएं, मम्मा सैलरी इज अ ड्रग। ओके, सो आई व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल, कुछ तो अच्छा हुआ है लेकिन नेगेटिव भी है। यू पीपल आर लर्नड, तो व्हेन यू पीपल सी सच वीडियोस 1 मिनट का, तो आपको पता है, लेकिन जो भी ग्रो कर रहा है उसके लिए क्या पॉइंट आएगा, जॉब करनी ही नहीं है, बिजनेस ही करेंगे। वो कभी बिजनेस भी नहीं कर पाएगा, जॉब तो वो कर ही नहीं पाएगा। जॉब करना बहुत जरूरी है बिकॉज इट एक्चुअली स्ट्रेंथन्स योर पोटेंशियल्स। आपको मन तो नहीं करेगा ना 9 to 5 आने का, और कोई आपको बोले, और एजुकेशन फील्ड में अगर कोई आपको बोले और आप जब वो काम कर रहे हो, तो आपके लिए तो लाइफ में बड़ा अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है, क्योंकि यू आर डूइंग समथिंग विच यू डोंट लाइक इट। सो व्हेन यू डोंट लाइक इट एंड यू आर डूइंग इट, दैट्स मीन दैट यू आर वेरी स्ट्रांग। आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि आपको कहां कहां से उसका benefit आएगा। But this is what even Karl Marx is saying. The concept of labor got changed. The timing got changed. And this is what you people have to always think. Do think whensoever you people are reading. Okay? बहुत सारे लोग क्या करते हैं, they always says कि हमको ये बिजनेस नहीं करना, हमको ये जॉब नहीं करना। नहीं, first of all, you need to have a winning attitude. मैं प्लांटिंग ही करूंगी, राइट, या मैं खाना ही पकाऊंगी, बट मैं बेस्ट करूंगी। I will only going to do the cleaning of this room, but the way I would be doing, कोई आके यही बोलेगा कि क्या बेस्ट सफाई करी है। So it's all about skills or perfection. Is this now clear? ठीक है, हमने यहां तक पढ़ लिया है, and I think this we will discuss tomorrow onwards. Thank you so very much.